Mayor Eric Adams of New York City was on Channel 11 New York News, and he was asked to sum up the year in one word by Danny Manarino, which, just a little trivia, my wife actually went to college with this guy here, who's now an
Did you tell
anchor
me
at
that?
Channel 11 News. And so, but he's not the subject of the story. Eric Adams is, because he gives, I mean, this has to be top 10 political gaffes ever. Like top 10 funniest gaffes you could possibly make as a politician.
It's
I
a
just can't
very
think of
Adams
anything worse.
gaffe.
It's a very Adams gaffe, but it's got to be one of the funniest ever. Like, I just can't think of how many. I can't think of 9 that are cringier than this. So let's take a look.
When you look at the totality of the year, if you had to describe it, and it's tough to do, in one word, what would that word be, and tell me why?
New York. This is a place where every day you wake up, you could experience everything from a plane crashing into our trade center to a person who's celebrating a new business that's open. This is a very, very complicated city, and that's why it's the greatest city on the globe.
Let's say that again. You can experience everything from a plane crashing into your trade center to the celebration to the ribbon cutting of a new pizzeria. Start spreading the news. Oh my God.
You could get your Achilles tendon slashed getting off the train. Or
You could slip onto
you
the
could find
subway
yourself at
tracks
the
and
opening
die.
of a 5-star Michelin restaurant.
Place where every day you wake up. This is a place where every day you wake up, you could experience everything from a plane crashing into our trade center to a person who's celebrating a new business that's open. This is a very, very complicated city, and that's why it's the greatest city on the globe.
That's why it's the greatest city on the globe. No, you should definitely put that in the travel brochures. Yeah. They should advertise that at the Hilton, the real big hotels. Hey, there's a chance, if you're lucky, a plane might crash through your window tomorrow morning.
They should have like a picture of 9/11 and then a picture of soup dumplings.
Yeah, right. I mean, what an idiot. What a fucking idiot. I mean, it just doesn't get cringier than that. I mean, how? What political gaffe is worse than that? How would you sum up 2023 in one word? New York. It's a great city where a plane could fly through your building.
How do you even
get there? There was no cue to talk about 9/11 there. There was no, every once in a while, like, there are certain, like, when we interview a guest, there's certain questions that I know not to ask, not because I'm afraid of the answer, but because I'm a little nervous about where they might take it, right? You give a certain cue, they could go a place that you're either not prepared to go because you didn't read up on it, or you just don't want to take it there because it'll get things sidetracked. So there are ways to kind of subtly, not manipulate the interview, but keep the interview on course, right?
Right, yeah.
And so it's not like Danny, the host there, invoked 9/11 in any way. He didn't say, he just said, hey, how about summing up the year in one word? New York, we're the greatest city on earth. You know why? Because every morning you wake up and a plane could fly into your office building at the World Trade Center.
A safe could fall on your
How
head.
fucking stupid you have to be to take it there, unprovoked and unprompted.
All right, so for anyone who is not familiar with New York and New York politics, I'm going to explain to you why this guy is mayor. New York is a fundamentally Lincoln Republican town, what we used to call Rockefeller Republicans.
Right.
It is fundamentally a Republican town. It is a Republican town that doesn't want you to discriminate against gay people and wants women to have abortion rights. Other than that, this town is Republican. So what you had was, with the wave of progressives that got into the state Senate and knocked out Cuomo. What were they called? He had that group of Democrats that would vote with Republicans.
The IDC.
Yeah, they had
there was
an
some
acronym.
3-letter
But
thing.
basically, Cuomo had a thing going where he had a block of Democrats that would vote with Republicans to avoid gridlock and push things in the rightward direction that in the end he favored. And in that exuberance, the Democratic Party locally pushed up a lot of people who were progressive for New York. Not progressive for the Western world necessarily, but progressive for New York. And especially with the uptick in crime during the pandemic, it is very easy to manipulate New Yorkers by invoking the 70s and Fear City, as they call it, right? Well, if we don't get control of crime, we're going back to the 70s. We're going back to the 70s. We're going back to the 70s. So you had this fucking meathead, ex-cop, Adams.
And ex-Republican.
And ex-Republican. See, this is the thing. Post-Trump, this sums it up. Post-Trump, these basically Republicans in their heart, registered Democrats, could not vote for a Republican. They cannot. You're not going to see a Giuliani in New York again for a generation.
Right.
So they went for the next best thing. They went for a Democrat in name only. They wanted a Republican, but their virtue signaling would not allow them to vote for a Republican. So they found a way to vote for a Republican with a D next to his name. That is why Adams is the mayor of New York. He's what New Yorkers wanted. A guy like Giuliani and Bloomberg who's going to send out the cops to crack heads, and they can feel good about themselves because he's a Democrat.
Please clap.